Good. Now that the house cleaning things are out of the way, I want to start with announcement yesterday about NoName057, which is a pro-Russian cybercrime network that Europol announced an operation against between joint operation known as Eastwood, coordinated by Europol and Eurotrust, targeted the cybercrime network NoName057. Costin, who are these people? Who is
16.
this name?
No,
16 in brackets.
It's important to say like NoName057 parentheses 16 parentheses, which nobody really knows what nobody knows why they have this name, but maybe it's some kind of a wordplay. Would be interesting if any of our listeners actually know exactly the meaning of those numbers. Like for instance, in Chinese, some of the numbers have certain meanings from the sounds, perhaps the same with this one, but none that I can figure out. So yeah, this is basically one of the kind of more realistic hacktivist groups, Russian groups, unlike the others that
hacktivists
are kind
or
of
cybercrime. These are these like ransomware guys?
No. I'm very precise when I said the hacktivist, in the sense of not being a front for one of these intelligence agencies like, I don't know, Hacknet or Killnet or some of the other groups which pretend to be hacktivists, but in reality they have some kind of nation-state guidance behind or funding or sponsorship. But these guys, they just organize themselves through various means like Telegram, their Telegram channel. Even I was checking it today, and then even after this operation, they're still active in there, and now they're targeting Germany, obviously as some kind of revenge or punishment. And it was funny that a few days ago, they sent kind of a warning to everyone in the channel, like, hey guys, if you got a message, like some kind of a scare tactic from one of our old bots, just ignore it. It's a feeble effort from the Western intelligence agencies to scare you. So don't give yourself to fear. Like, there's nothing to fear. We're here. We're still kicking. Glory to Russia, and let's continue DDoSing, which is their main activity nowadays. They specialize in DDoS attacks with volunteers. In a way, maybe like a very distant comparison to, what was it, the cyber army of Ukraine that was engaging in kind of similar activities, but they had like 100 times more followers. Like the cyber army of Ukraine was in the range of hundreds of thousands, and these guys are in the range of thousands in their Telegram channel, by the way, at least. And I saw that they also said, look, if Telegram brings us down, let's move to Matrix, to Element, or follow us on X. So I guess they're kind of expecting for more punishment and more takedowns to come up. Maybe arrests as well if they travel or if they get caught outside. At least on the Europol side, it says that 2 people got arrested, and there were 24 house searches happening during this operation.
They also, in Germany, issued arrest warrants for 7 people. The European Union published a most wanted website with some names and faces. Anything interesting there? Juanito, have you had a chance to look at this?
Not at the faces themselves. I mean, I did look at some of the stuff. I thought it was actually really interesting that they allegedly, the law enforcement apparently reached out to all the admins and told them that they possibly are like have some level of liability. I'd love to see that followed through in some way, because there is this sense in which that notion that crimes online, or more importantly, just being like a hanger on to something shitty, is just never ever going to come bite you in the ass. It just kind of perpetuates this idea of like, yeah, I mean, whatever, like we're just there hanging out. There's 1,000 of us, 5 people might get in trouble someday, but like the rest of us will keep fucking around. And I'm not saying that you go after 1,000 folks in the Telegram chat, but like if you're an admin, like you're the admins at least have made it a point to be super involved in this. That said, like I remember Tom Hagel and Alex Milankovsky over at Labs had worked on the NoName stuff, and at one point they were actually telling me like they stopped like they still track them, but like they stopped reporting on them because these dudes would get such a kick out of like vendors writing about their stuff, and like they would use it as part of like the feeding frenzy and like gamification of like, oh, we're doing so much, right? Like we're supporting the Russian motherland so much. So yeah, I don't know how much like we want to kind of pour gas into that fire, but at the same time, if we do come out of this one thinking that it is purely a decentralized group, like anonymous style, no coordination from anyone in like Russian intelligence, it is really interesting to see that much effort put into effectively gamifying and sort of taking some of the like basically combining some of this like Wagner style extremist cultivating of like readily vulnerable online populations in like small recruitment circles, along with like gamified interactions, just to like really loop people into this group activity. Like that's one way to cure the male loneliness epidemic, I guess.
Why do we call it a cybercrime network? If it's
I
just
wouldn't call it a
hacktivists doing
cybercrime.
DOS. I mean, yeah,
Europol calls it like, I don't know, a law enforcement agency going after a group of people fucking around online is probably has an easier time saying they're a
Gotcha.
cybercrime network, I guess. I don't know.
What attracted my attention, by the way, is that there's 7 arrest warrants from Germany specifically on the Europol website, and kind of unusual that one of them is a kind of female hacker. We were joking, I think, before, Ryan, in the sense that, why don't pin it on you?
What the fuck did you guys do? What did I show up a little late to prep.
Look,
and, where's this going?
It's always impressive to me when you see female hackers in these groups. And I think the most impressive story that I have seen was from this Ukrainian hacker that now works at, I think she works at Recorded Future or The Record. That was probably one of the most successful hackers in the history, as she breached the US stock exchange with something like a gun to her temple and away from her child, exactly like in Swordfish.
No,
what is he talking
like,
about?
Real?
The story
Are you fucking
is crazy.
around right now?
I'm not. I know it's an absolutely this is by far the most amazing story that I have seen in my life. I think it was originally published in Bloomberg. And
what? But it's like a real Bloomberg story or like a Bloomberg story?
It's a real, because I mean the people who wrote about it, they know her. They know her now, and I think she works at The Record by Recorded Future nowadays.
Interesting.
And to me, that story was just mind blowing. She now lives in the States with her mother and her daughter. She was separated, like held prisoner, captive by real criminals with guns for months, away from her daughter, sleeping on the floor in cold, hacking into U.S. stock exchange, among others. So I was just wondering if this is like Olga Evstratova is a similar story, or is it like something different that we're seeing here?
I mean, first of all, I want to know more. Like, why aren't we hanging out with this journalist from The Record?
Invite
that sounds
her
fucking
to
great.
LabsCon.
Yeah,
Invite
I mean,
her.
honestly, like that would be fucking cool.